Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Elizabeth Horn, a member of this congregation and the worship team here at 1U. Today's service was organized by 1U Serving the Community team. Joining us virtually, we have Cynthia Cohen, and here in person we have Kathy Homblette, Libby Jackson, and Karen Ramberg. They're also joined by our Director of Music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, and accompanist, Daniela Manzon Villegas. Reverend Marguerite Belizaire will return to worship on August 25th. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working very diligently this week to ensure that we come together this morning. So thank you. I believe this is a change of plans as far as children's activities today. We do not have a summer fun activity today. So anyone who would like to, after Time for All Ages, any younger children who would like to go to the nursery, we'll have folks available to escort them over. And then older youth are invited to remain in the sanctuary for today's service. And the nursery will be open until noon. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we are a non-creedal community that does not subscribe to a specific set of beliefs. We live by a covenant that encourages ethical behavior, affirms democracy, celebrates the worth of each individual, and unites us in a search for truth and meaning. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. For more information about our congregation and announcements, please go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. We do have a few special announcements today. We are excited to share new and exciting ways to engage with worship at 1U. To learn more, please bring a dish to share for a potluck after next Sunday's service. At the potluck, you'll learn about a new low-stakes way that you can participate in services as a worship attendant. And following the potluck, we'll also have a worship hive mind open to all. Join us as we reflect on upcoming worship themes and brainstorm readings, music, and more. We'll convene in the assembly room after potluck on Sunday, August 18th, and childcare will be provided. Now from religious enrichment, registration for children's RE classes is now open. Please see the weekly update or the RE update for a link to the registration page, or come by the table during coffee hour. And we're also excited about our new children's choir. If your child is in the 2nd grade or higher and is interested in participating, it's not too late, so please indicate this on the registration form. Now, as many of you are aware, we've postponed the blessing of the backpacks as several of the key players are ill this week. We're also postponing the first children's choir rehearsal until next week for the same reason. Please watch the various forms of communication for updated information. All other announcements are on the slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you'd like to follow along to the service, please use the QR code shown in the monitor and on the first few slides and in the envelope in the pew in front of you. So finally, please plan to stay for fellowship in Gore Hall across the courtyard. For quieter and more casual conversation, move around the corner into the Gore Hall foyer, and the conversation conversation corner. All are welcome, but a special invitation goes out to visitors or those with questions about today's service or our congregation. Thank you again for being here in person and online today.
Please say the words with me as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing Gather the Spirit, verses 1 and 2. The words will appear on the screen above.
So we are actually going to be singing hymn 128, For All That Is Our Life. Not a problem. I'll tell a few jokes while we wait. Once there was a choir director. No, I don't know jokes. If you'd like to pick up a hymnal, that would be lovely. We'll keep it old school, exactly. 128, For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For all needs which we serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build a common good and make our own days glad.
Thank you again to our tech team for a masterful job. Thank you. I'm Kathy Homblette, a member of the Serving the Community team that Elizabeth described, and we're so glad to see you here this morning and online. This congregation has service to the community in its DNA. We're going to show you some photos of previous service activities done here by our congregation, and we're just highlighting a few of these as our examples. It's the food edition. Coincidence? No, we know food is a powerful way to gather in community, to build relations, often centered on food, which is a love language for some of us. Service is a form of generosity, and generosity is a core value for Unitarian Universalists. Now, these are just some of the tangible and generous ways One U comes together to be known of service to the wider community and to our own congregation. Let us celebrate our good works with joy and search our hearts and imaginations for how we might continue and grow our efforts. As we mentioned, we're the Serving the Community team, and we've got some ideas and invitations to share with you during this service. We'll be asking you for your ideas as well. We'll let these finish out. The slides are showing you a variety of activities that some of us have participated in the past. When it comes time to greet one another, I'm going to ask you to consider adding a sentence or two about something that you have done to be of service in the community. Maybe you saw your picture here. Maybe you're wearing a shirt representing a group that you support. Maybe you could tell someone something they don't know about you and where you spend some of your volunteer energies. Or maybe you've been a recipient of service from this congregation or another group. We're going to worship together and take a minute now to greet one another. If you're online, feel free to share in the chat. How have you been of service, or how has someone served you? Let's chat. I did something. Oh, thank you. I didn't.
Well, oh, so many friends today. Hello, hello. So I actually have a story for you about a drop of water. And Ansley's going to help me out here. We've got a little drop of water here whose name is Higgins. Higgins is no ordinary drop of water. She was a drop with a dream. Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very long time. So all of the beautiful green grass was turning brown, and all of the beautiful flowers were wilting, and all of the trees were starting to droop. So Higgins had a dream that one day the valley would be a beautiful place again. But what could she do? She's just one drop of water, right? So Higgins decided to travel and tell others about her dream. All the other drops listened very politely, but no one believed that her dream could come true. Higgins, get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your whole life dreaming. So Higgins decided she had to do something to make her dream come true. So she began to think and think and think, and one day she walked past this rusty old bucket and got an idea.
If enough of us drops of water get into this bucket, there would be enough water to sprinkle on a few flowers to help them grow and become beautiful again.
So she decided to tell everyone about this great idea. But everyone thought that she was being foolish. Thought Higgins is nothing but a dreamer. So Higgins decided she had to do something to convince the others that she was right. So she said to them,
I don't know about you, but I'm getting into that bucket. I hope some of you will join me. Then there might be enough water to help at least some flowers grow beautiful again.
So Higgins ran as hard as she could, hopped all the way up into the air, and landed with a kerplunk in the bottom of the bucket. What do you see?
Higgins. Yeah.
Higgins? Yeah. And there she sat, just a drop in the bucket.
What can I see?
I'll tell you soon, buddy. So for a long time, Higgins was very lonely.
I know.
it seemed like no one else was going to join her. But then after a while, some of the other drops started to notice that the grass was dying and the flowers were wilting and the trees were drooping, and they all agreed that something had to be done. So finally, one drop shouted,
"I'm coming in with Higgins."
And he leaped through the air and landed kerplunk in the bucket. You can do it. I wonder if we have any other drops who want to join Higgins in the bucket. Oh, look what's happening. Oh, Higgins said, "I'm not lonely anymore." Oh my goodness, look at all of these drops filling up our bucket.
Yes.
So all of the other drops hopped through the air and landed into the bucket. 10 drops, then 30, then 50, then hundreds of drops came from all around just to hop in the bucket. And soon the bucket was completely full of water. But there were still more drops that wanted to join. What do you think we have to do if our bucket is all full, but we still have more drops? Pour it out, get more buckets? And so they got more buckets, 2 buckets, then 3, then 4, then 10, and then hundreds and thousands of buckets of water. And then they poured them out and made a mighty stream. Everywhere the water flowed, the grass turned green again, and the flowers bloomed, and the trees stood tall and straight once more. All of this happened because Higgins had a dream, and her dream came true because she knew that although she was just a drop in the bucket, enough drops in the bucket make a bucket full. And when there are enough buckets, then justice will roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Thank you to all of these lovely drops for helping to fill this bucket. We do have an activity today. We have our friend Scott here to do paper airplanes with those of you who are interested in joining him for that. So I'm going to invite these folks to stand and make our archway as we sing our youth out to their fun summer activities.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning. I'm Sandy Pollock, and I serve on the Board of Trustees as your president-elect this year. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values, which sustains the life and ministries of our church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it's a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Our Share the Plate recipient for the month of August is Shepherd's Hope. Shepherd's Hope is a nonprofit organization of primarily volunteers that exists to provide access to health care for uninsured patients. They are caring people, caring for people. For 25 years, Shepherd's Hope has given assistance through their evening clinics around the Orlando area to anyone in need. With more than 2,700 volunteers, including doctors, nurses, PAs, clerical staff, and other willing helpers, literally thousands of patient visits are provided each year at no cost to the patient at all. Please give generously to support Shepherd's Hope NYU. The offering will now be collected, and note that you can also give online using the link.
Give us your money, all that you've got. Just fork it over It will help us a lot. It's time to pass the hat, and there's nothing you can do about that. So give us your money.
Give us your money.
Give us your money.
Give us your money.
Give us your money. When you help others, you can't help helping yourself. When you help others, you can't help helping yourself. Every time you do good deeds, you're always serving your own needs. When you help others, you're really helping yourself. When you give to a worthy cause, you'll feel so jolly like Santa Claus. When you help others, you can't help helping yourself. When you help others, you can't help helping yourself. Every time you do good deeds, you're also serving your own needs. When you help others, you're really helping yourself. The more you give, the more you get, and you have more to give, I bet. When you help others, you can't help helping yourself.
Now let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
This is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or helped with, or have a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read aloud each Sunday during worship. You can send an email to joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org during the week. And if you're attending in person, you can also fill out a card at the registration table and hand it to an usher before the start of the service. And following, after the meditation, we'll call you forward to participate in our candle lighting ritual as well. So we welcome you to bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come as you are. Your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we are creating together. I have some joys and sorrows to share from 1U. First, the flowers today were brought, oh, we're doing an edit? Say it? Okay. Google Drive, it's fun. Today's flowers were brought by Wendy McCleskey in honor of her mother Grace's 93rd birthday tomorrow. And another note of gratitude to those leaders who were flexible about attending yesterday's orientation online rather than in person. Energy is high despite COVID. Is this a joy? Is this a sorrow? School starts tomorrow for many youth and educators in our community. As a parent, I'll say it's a joy. This coming Wednesday, Dave and Linda, is this Shine? Will be celebrating their 42nd wedding anniversary. And I love this note. It says that's 42 one-year contracts. They have mutually agreed to sign up for another year. So congrats on that. Now from the larger community, we continue to hold our Orlando families in love, our communities with care, and the world with our compassion by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of justice. for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today and for those held close to our hearts. Let's pray, let's celebrate, and let's send each other healing energy.
I now invite us into meditative prayer with these words from Kurt Vogue. With gratitude and grace, we lead forward to answer the call of our faith. We move happily together into the unknown. We open ourselves to growth. We go forth to begin the change to our corner of the world. We covenant together to transform the world through love. And we are moved by Spirit to accomplish good works with compassion and love for all. You are now invited to come forward this morning and light a candle of remembrance, loving kindness, or hope. Our first candle will be lit to recognize the joys and sorrows of our online community, and the last candle to recognize the unspoken joys and sorrows of all in this room. Thank you.
Voice still and small, deep inside all. and pain still will remain, singing, calming my fears, quenching my tears through all the years, singing.
Good morning. I'm Karen Ramberg, a member of this church and also the Serving the Community team. I'm also a member of Friends of the New Image Youth Center, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that team this morning. But before I get into the details, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you. We not only met our goal for the Sundays Undies campaign, we exceeded it because of your generosity. So thank you. Every child went home with at least 7 pairs of new underwear to start the school year, and we have some extra ones just in case they need it. So again, fabulous. Thank you so much for your support. But you're probably wondering, how did all this get started? Where did the Friends of the New Image Youth Center come from? Well, most of us were alumni of either Wrestling with Our Understanding of Racism or Beloved Conversations, and we were looking for ways to be allies with our Black community. And so we thought, well, it would be easiest if we start with an organization that we already know and have some association with. So the natural choice was the New Image Youth Center. They had been a Share the Plate partner for years. And we got to help kids. That made it really exciting. So we reached out to the New Image Youth Center, and they were interested in working with them, and they loved the idea. And so we formed this team. And essentially, we have 3 types of activities that the team does. The first type of activity is helping them with an activity that they've created. Here you have a picture of one of their annual anniversary parties. And what we did is we had a photo booth for them and took pictures of the kids. We also sponsored the face painting that you can see on the kids' faces and also the staff faces. They asked us, they have monthly birthday parties, and they asked if we could provide birthday cards for each of the kids for the parties. And of course, we're happy to do that. So every month we supply birthday cards for each of the children and for the staff. And we were very touched to find out that for some of these children, this was the first birthday card they had ever received. So we continue to do that. And we also support their Valentine's party every year by providing Valentines for each of the children and staff. We also support their trunk or treat that they have every fall. And at Christmas time, Shantae, the director, will provide us with the names of usually around 5 families that could use something a little extra this year. These are the families who might not have anything to celebrate on Christmas morning, and we are delighted to be able to help to make sure that they can fully participate in the joy of the season. The second type of activity we have is we create the opportunities. And we're very big into museum visits. And this is a picture from one of our visits to the Orlando Science Center, where we arranged for them to be there. They've done that a couple of years ago. The kids love going to the Science Center. We've also arranged visits for a couple of years to the Morse Museum, to the Rollins Museum of Art, and to the Orlando Museum of Art. The other activity that we've done is we've arranged for the kids to go to the children's plays at the Orlando Shakespeare Theater. So we're delighted to give that horizon to them. The third type of activity we have is where we ask all of you to join us and participate in helping these kids. And this biggest event every year is our Harvest Fest and Variety Show. And this is from last year's Harvest Fest and Variety Show. And this year it's for October 12th. And stay tuned. Next week, we're going to have sign-up sheets so you can sign up your children to participate in the variety show, or if you want to volunteer to help with the games or in the kitchen, or set up or break down, or bring some treats, whatever. You'll have that opportunity starting next week to sign up. And we hope to see as many of you there as possible on October 12th. And even if you don't have the time to volunteer, come and give a big round of applause to all these kids in the variety show, both our own youth from 1U and also the children from the New Image Youth Center. The other thing that we involve you in, you're very familiar with, is our donation drives. As I said, we've just been very successful with our Undies campaign, which we tend to run in the summer so the kids can go back to school with new underwear. Then in the winter, we'll run a socks campaign to make sure the kids have something on their feet to help keep them warm. And then in the spring and fall, we do snack campaigns to remind you that these kids always are looking for snacks. As Shantae says, these kids are always hungry. So we work on that. Then last year, what we started for the first time, and again, your participation was just fabulous, is we collected used jewelry. And then we took that and cleaned it up and put it in boxes for a mother's boutique so that these children could select something from this boutique to give to their mothers or mother figures. And I was quite touched to find out that many of these children selected the gifts and gave them to the staff at New Image Youth Center. It says so much about how the staff in this center affects their lives. And it's wonderful. And I'm gratitude and call out to Alliance who helped us with that project. So we're delighted to work with people on these. So we see this team as a win-win-win. It's a win for New Image Youth Center and its children. It's a win for the team. We love this. I mean, it's just a thing of joy to be able to help these children. And we feel it's a win for the 1U community as well. It gives you a chance to participate in supporting New Image Youth Center with things other than just finances, to actually be there and participate. I also think that this is a good model that we should consider for other organizations. If you have an organization that you're passionate about, and you have several friends who would be willing to join you, we'd be delighted in helping you set up a team to support the organization that means so much to you. So thank you for all your generosity, and stay tuned.
Well, as we began our service time together, you saw images of just some of the service efforts that this congregation has participated in the past few years. They reflect the generosity of this congregation, striving to find tangible ways to positively impact our wider community and those within the congregation. As I mentioned, we could have had others there, but those are the ones that had to do with food, which must have been on my mind at the time. I'm here today to challenge us to continue and to expand these efforts, and to invite you to participate in ways that are meaningful and manageable for you. Now, here are my top 5 reasons we as a congregation, and you personally, may feel ready to answer this call to service in our world. Number 1, we will be living our UU values. Take a look at the graphic that is circulating now with the values that were just adopted by our General Assembly of Congregations. And I'd like to point out particularly the one that says generosity. Now, love is at the center for all these. They're not in any specific order, so we can pick and choose what's of priority at any one time. This one reads, we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. I find that a powerful, powerful value that this congregation exhibits all the time. Sometimes we just need to have the right vehicle to do it. The second value I want to point out is equity. We declare that every person has a right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. UU values, my top reason for us to participate. Second, we're building relationships with others. As Karen mentioned, our relationship with the new Image Youth Center has grown and grown over the years as we've mutually gotten to know one another and found ways that we could be of service, and they have enriched our lives. Make that variety show a must on your schedule. It is a great event. Whether you're measuring lentils as we make 1 million meals to go out to the world, whether you're checking for expired dates on second harvest food, whether you're cleaning the cupboards in Gore Hall, or making coffee with someone, or preparing for a potluck, we're building relationships with one another. My third reason, we amplify 1U's presence in the wider community. We show up, often in those bright yellow shirts that are easy to spot in a crowd. I will direct you, if you get by the Pulse Memorial that still stands on that wall, there's a big shot of the front lawn at the Dr. Phillips. There are those yellow shirts in our banner. We show up. Aside, if you need a new yellow shirt or any yellow shirt, check the table in Gore Hall. We are ready to provide you with the details on that. We also donate our time and tangible goods. We have an ongoing food drive for Joy MCC Church. The Metropolitan Community Church down the road is a kindred spirit. Their flavor a little more Christian than ours, but worried about our siblings in this community and in this state. That's an ongoing drive. We also have a group that's getting started to research a crafting project. I'm bringing a sample of a no-sew tote that has been created from a recycled t-shirt, thanks to Linda Shine. Carolina Lofgren is teaching us how to make wallets and ID holders that we can donate to iDignity. There's a meeting on the 3rd Saturday of the month. You can have community and build relationships. I believe this fourth strengthens our own beloved community. When the strategic plan was being built, 42% of the people who responded to the survey there said that they came to this church seeking community. So this is one of the ways that we can build community and share community. It solidifies our UU identity and the identification with this church. It's good to do iDignity work just because it's good to do it. But if I can do it and say that I'm a member of this congregation, this is one of our values, and I'm working and volunteering on behalf of the congregation, it amplifies our position. And we get to know one another. Fifth and last on my list, it can really make you feel good. Doing good for others. How does that go, Aubrey?
When you help others, you also help yourself.
Thank you. When you help others, you also help yourself. And I just want to say, thank you for bringing Avenue Q into this sanctuary. So, while Unitarian Universalists don't count on guilt, per se, as a way to move people to action, we hope that you can see yourself as an active participant as 1U looks for ways to serve the community, new ways and traditional ways. There are ongoing projects, as I've mentioned. Some of us volunteer as individuals. If you see someone wearing a shirt for an organization, ask them about that and see if there might be a way that your skills or time might be used. Our strategic plan challenges us to find ways to expand our footprint in the community. We envision participating in a project that might involve a large percentage of our congregation, maybe a work day on, and we're going to strive for 80% of us to be there. We don't know, and that's part of the issue. We know we will be appreciated. We know whatever we choose will be fun. We know we will build community and relationships. We just don't know exactly where, what, or when that will happen. So our Share the Plate hosts have been doing some interviewing of their organizations, like Shepherd's Hope, to find out what specifically we might do as an organization to be of support. The Serving the Community team is playing a role in vetting those conversations and will also help with promotion publicity. So your job is to stay tuned and be ready to say yes in the capacity that works for you. So conversations are beginning. Maybe you can help with details. And our call to action that Karen will give you later will give you a couple specifics. Thank you for your time and attention today. Let's rise in spirit, body or spirit, and join in singing our closing hymn. This is a special one, and Aubrey's going to give us any needed instructions.
This song is I Am Open and I Am Willing by Holly Near. The chorus is the same over and over. The verse uses the same melody but changes the meter just a little bit. Once you get onto the chorus, just keep singing. In the middle, sing, and if we don't all come together, that's just part of being in community. Sometimes we don't gel, other times we do. So here we go. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family, there is sorrow in my town, there is panic in the nation, there is wailing the whole world round. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, may the elder be more wise, may the winds of change caress us, even though it burns our eyes. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion. Give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder. Give me an ocean to hold my tears. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change.
The closing words this morning are from Sidney K. Wilde. In this community, we give and we receive. May we now go forth to share the bounty of our love. The call to action today is all about how can you be involved in the service at UNU. One suggestion is stop by the table in Gore Hall after the service to share your ideas, to sign up to volunteers with some of the ongoing activities, and tell us what has meaning to you. How do you feel we should be serving both this community and the broader community? And stay tuned for upcoming opportunities from our UNU congregation. So please, say with me these words as we extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you, Ms. Manzan Villegas.
Shadowing today. Okay, sounds good. Hi. Hi.
It's a good thing to watch the basket. No, but I mean, just in general.
Right, yeah, I understand.